I'm about to click go live.
I acknowledge this.
No, it looks great.
You look wonderful.
We are live. I hope that was on camera. Guys, I am Reka, or welcome to Talk Chef. I am Reka, one of your hosts. Hi, I'm Reka, and that's it.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm your other host.
And today we have a really special guest who is deeply, deeply funny, so nice, and into food, Artoun Nazareth.
Hello. Hey. Definitely deeply into food.
We're so excited to have you. So for those of you who don't know Artoun, he is going to be in the new Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife. You can see him in the trailer. Wow. He also is in a series of progressive commercials.
That's true. Recurring
character in a progressive commercial.
Wait a minute. Are you in the Zoom progressive commercials?
No. I separate. Okay, so there's more progressive commercials are going to be dropping in the new year.
Shut up. Oh my God. Guys, get ready for the premiere of a new batch of progressive commercials.
So cat's out of the bag on that one.
Oh my God. I love that. So you're super successful and that's incredible. I love that. Were you also on an episode of The Connors?
I was also on an episode of The Connors. Yes.
Artoun books. And Artoun and I know each other because Artoun was on my Herald team at the Upright Citizens Brigade. Artoun
yes.
And Reka was also on Herald Night. Very exciting. I also do have to acknowledge our special guest because the camera did get me asking if I acknowledged this zit during the show. Because I thought we hadn't gone live yet. But I'll just say, I got a little forehead zit. I'm human. I'm sorry. I'm human.
Honestly, Jordan, I think our viewers are going to go up because you're going to be like, how if Tyra Banks were to post a photo of a tiny 1 square centimeter of cellulite, she would probably go viral. It's you being vulnerable. I think
that's true. Yeah, it's like when Alicia Keys stopped wearing makeup.
Yes, you are Alicia Keys and the zit is no makeup.
So vulnerable.
Wow.
I think that's really beautiful.
That's pretty cool. All right. Well, I just had to clear the air of that. But now let's get into the actual show.
Yes. As you guys know, we have a couple orders of business before we dive into this week's episode of Top Chef. Our first being, this is a charity show. Every week we raise money for a food-based charity, and this week is no different. So this week we're raising money for North American traditional indigenous food systems, which is super rad. They want to promote indigenous food education and facilitate access for indigenous people to food, which is really incredible. And it's founded by a James Beard Award winner and all sorts of stuff. So it's a really legit organization. And yeah, so if there's anything at all that you can donate, $1, 50 cents, whatever, anything helps. We are going to pop Jordan's zit. I was going to say Jordan's handle, and then I read what you wrote. And I was like, it sounds like I'm about to say zit. We're going to pop Jordan's handle in the chat. As always, just Venmo her at JORDANMYR1CK.
Did you hear the sound effect? We just got a donation.
Wow. Instant.
Wait a minute. Jeff Bezos is donating his whole fortune?
Huge if true.
Okay. Now that is pretty cool.
Now that's the Talk Chef. So yeah, the donations will be open for this charity for the North American Traditional Indigenous Food Systems organization for the next 24 hours. And so we'll be reminding you about that throughout the evening.
Yeah. And any amount is great. $1, 50 cents.
Listen, anything. And we also have a second order of business. Artoun, we didn't tell you this one little thing, but if you've seen an episode of Talk Chef, just like in the regular show Top Chef, Talk Chef does a quick fire. Were you about to get an appendicitis?
I got appendicitis.
So, Artoun, we are going to put you through the fastest quick fire in Top Chef history, which is 45 seconds.
Oh my God.
In 45 seconds, you have to answer 10 questions. These are not trivia questions. These are just questions based on your food taste, your food opinions.
Okay.
So how does that sound? Scary?
I think a little competition.
I love a little competition, and I'm ready to win.
Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't even tell you what the prize was. The prize is a deed to the Terlato Wine Vineyard, which is a wine we've only ever heard of on the show Top Chef. The smallest size bottle they have is 7,000 gallons. So you can win a deed to their vineyard, which is located in, I don't know, a factory in California.
I've been a big fan of Terlato.
Are you really?
No.
Okay, because we've never met anyone who's tasted it.
Contestants on Top Chef that we've had on the show are like, I never.
I don't know what it is. You also will win your own personal suite of broken Kenmore appliances.
Fully broken.
Fully broken.
Yeah. So get ready, Artoun.
Let's do it.
You will have 45 seconds from the moment Jordan finishes the first question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Raw or cooked?
Cooked.
Favorite raw dish?
Caprese.
Could you possibly tell us what is wrong with Mike?
No, I don't know.
How important is presentation when it comes to food?
Very important.
Grapes and guacamole.
No.
Okay. Could you surf?
What?
Could you surf?
Oh, no.
Okay. Almond Joy's aunt is what is written on Sam's t-shirt. What could that possibly mean?
Ms. Joy?
Okay, Padma's stylist on this episode. Hired or
so good.
fired?
So hired. Love that.
Breakfast overrated.
No.
How hot are Jordan and Reka?
Too late to answer that last one.
Well, we know what the answer was gonna be.
We'll never know.
We'll never know, but we kind of know.
Oh my God.
That was great. Wait, so you liked Padma's stylist?
Oh my God, that vest? I'm like, where do I get that vest?
It was so funny because of the quick fire. It was like, okay, just like a simple pink t-shirt and like kind of a green wrap skirt and a sort of bejeweled dangling belt. And then when we get to the beach, it's like a bikini, a mini skirt, and a fur crop jacket with shoulder pads.
It was an insane jacket, but I was like, I want it. I was like, where do I get that?
Yeah, she's dressed like a rich girl who's going on a Jamaican cruise with her family.
Yeah, that girl is about to come back with like cornrows that say like whatever in them.
Yes, on the one side.
Yeah, on one side, and then she's gonna make you feel self-conscious when you get back. But then 10 years later, you'll realize, no, she is.
Yes,
absolutely.
Oh, and Colin points out she also had on gold boots on the beach.
Yes, it was unhinged. That person should be fired. Artoun is wrong.
Artoun is
That's making a choice. It's making
debut those boots at the end of this episode.
Yeah. I don't want to jump ahead, but I do need to know, what did Sam's shirt mean? Almond Joy, Joy spelled J-O-I, Almond Joy's aunt, A-U-N-T. I've Googled it. I thought maybe it was a company. I thought maybe it was a restaurant. I was not able to find anything. If anyone at all knows, please drop it in the comments.
Almond Joy with an I is an erotica novel.
So I found that too, but I don't think that's what it is.
There's no aunt figure in that
it's
novel?
$0 on Kindle Unlimited.
Okay. All right. If anybody's a Top Chef freak and also a free erotica head, you got it.
Okay, which I will say, I did host a podcast called Erotic Book Club where we specifically read exactly this kind of shit.
Wow.
So maybe his sister is Kellen Esperance.
I don't know, but I need someone to know and I need someone to tell me.
Oh my God, there's a blog asking about it. Yeah. Okay, I love this.
Was it in the style of like an Almond Joy logo?
No.
Okay, so I think
we're back at square one. Okay.
Wow.
I have no clue what it could possibly mean.
That's really interesting. Yeah, if you have an idea about what that means, drop that in the chat. Sorry, I was typing the charity. Yeah, if you have an idea about what that means or what you would like it to mean, pop that in the chat.
Yeah, I think that's important. What do you want it to mean?
I think it's a little sexy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think there's a sexy surprise. Like if I'm Sam's girlfriend, that's like some little repartee we've had. And that's like a cute holiday gift I've given him. And then he's chosen to wear it on TV. And then it makes me laugh at home.
Now, I don't know Sam's improv background, but it does feel like a dumb comedy team name as well.
Absolutely
so it could
horrible.
be one of those things where like you have a team and you're like, let's get t-shirts. And then no one outside knows it. And next thing you know, you're on an episode of Top Chef wearing it.
Yeah. See, I think, would you guys wear, okay, let's say your improv team name is something that doesn't, like, I would say that like, because your team was called Ghost, right?
Yes. So that wouldn't be too crazy to see.
I would say that's not crazy. So like if your improv team name was something like
Almond Joy's uncle.
Yeah, Almond Joy's uncle. Would you take that to wear on air on a Bravo TV show?
No,
I don't.
I think I wouldn't either.
I don't even think I would take a Ghost shirt because then people would be like, is she wearing a shirt for her improv team on national television? I think it's just too dicey. I don't think I'd do it.
Yeah. When you say dicey, do you mean lame?
Yeah, it's just like too dicey, creeping into the category of like, me being embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a false bang to cover up does it look good?
In solidarity, Jordan, I too shall create a false
make a fake bang. If you're watching from home, please make a fake bang.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do makeup so well and like contour and like have a whole new face. I can't cover up literally one zit.
Okay.
My hair doesn't go down enough, but
Artoun, can you put your hat so that it covers all of your face?
I can do this.
Okay.
So
wow, I think we all look
okay. We all look really good.
We all look like we're wearing wigs of our own.
And that's much more natural than how we started.
Yes.
So that's perfect.
Right.
Okay, I would like to jump right into the quick fire if we can.
I would love that.
Doing a little surfs up.
I would freaking love that. Hey, it's topical, baby.
Oh my God.
I love it.
She's a surfer girl now.
Yes. So this quick fire is to create a filling entree without actually cooking. It is raw food. They have $20 a shop in a farmer's market and half an hour to make this meal. So what do we think of this quick fire before we dive into the dishes?
I think that $20 today would not get you too much from an LA farmer's market.
Yeah, the Redondo Beach farmers.
100%. I think $20 at a farmer's market in LA. There's a really mean avocado vendor at the LA farmer's market in Hollywood. And I don't mind saying he's mean because he is. And sometimes I'm like, it feels racial. And his avocados cost like $6.
And it's like for what? 4, 3? Or for one?
It depends on. There are ones that I think are $6 each. I think $6 would probably get you 2 like Hass avocados.
Yeah.
And like he's also mean on top of it. That's not common in the farmer's market. You can't.
And that's true. Yeah, you really stick out if you're mean at the farmer's.
Yeah, you really stick out because everyone's very nice.
I even noticed that one of them buys like one of those tiny little baskets of cherry tomatoes. How like cherry tomatoes or peppers a lot of times come at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
And
those are like $4 or $5.
Now they're like $5, maybe $6.
Yeah.
Totally. Oh my God. All the people that unnecessarily bought strawberries for dishes where they did not need oh wait, sorry. That was for the later challenge. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm confusing.
Okay. I was about to pop off, but you're right.
I was about to pop off too.
Wow. Okay. We got to save that.
Okay. We have to keep a lid on that. Not a warranted pop off. There will be one. Yeah. I thought this challenge was fine. Like $20, I think you're totally right, Artoun, is not enough to shop at a farmer's market now.
Maybe in like 2008 or whenever that was.
Yeah, maybe.
It was fine.
Yeah. I do think I was a bit bummed that Mia decided to make a salad again when she said, I'm going to make a salad, because the last episode when they had to make canned food stuff for a quick fire, she also made a salad. I was like, Mia, you are so good. What are you doing? She's so good at improvising. Any of the times you're like, you have a piece of shit and a pack of bologna and you have to make pasta. She's very good at doing that.
And she's like, back when I had a pack of shit, back in the day, is what we did. And I was like, wow.
Yes, she's very good at it. So it always bums me out.
Yes.
But yeah, any other thoughts before we jump into the dishes they made for the quick fire?
I think it was like fun. I feel like this is so easy. For a chef?
For a chef, I feel like every time I hear any of the quick fire challenges, as soon as I hear it, I freak out and I'm like, I'd never be able to do this. But like for chefs and like after like, 10 minutes of like thinking about it, which I also don't know like how much time there actually is between them hearing and them like running all together and jumping fences and whatnot. They actually have to like conceive an idea.
So interesting because Artoun's girlfriend is in the chat saying the exact same thing that Artoun is saying at the same time, but it's even crazier because there's a little bit of a delay. So there's no way she could have heard Artoun even starting.
So sweet.
Oh my God.
Like
oh my God.
I wonder how long the drive from the market back to the kitchen was, because that's a lot of time to think about and plan that you don't normally get for a quick fire. Literally the same thought. You two are too cute.
Wow.
I love it.
That's really cute.
Sorry to put you on blast, Christine and Artoun, but
it's good.
I think that's really cute. If you guys weren't already together, I think I would pitch this as like a little Talk Chef hookup.
Yeah, we'd ship you guys.
Ship? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We would ship. We still ship you.
Yeah,
Thank
I actually
you. Wow.
do ship you.
I think it's keep working out. I'll say it.
All right. Thank you.
I agree with both of you. I think it's so true. And, we're never really sure how long they actually have.
Mm-hmm. But yes, to what you were saying also, it didn't seem like this was the hardest challenge that's come about. There's so much stuff you can make.
I think the same way. I have eaten like at raw restaurants before, and I understand that kind of situation where you're trying to make raw lasagna or whatever is its own challenge. This wasn't that. This was just like use really good ingredients and make something that doesn't involve like your stove and a pan and shit like that. Yeah. And I thought some people did it really smart with like food processor stuff that they could make as like a sauce and like using cutting vegetables thin enough that you don't need to cook them and things like that.
Yes. So, there were a couple things though where I was like, is this allowed? Salmon jerky?
Okay. I also was like, because it's at the farmer's market, right? But does that mean I can, like, there's a stand that sells like
tamales.
Yeah. Can I put a tamale?
I can get a roast chicken. I can get a roast chicken at the farmer's market.
I can get drunken noodles at the Hollywood farmer's market.
Okay, my thing with that is that Padma explicitly said food that was heated at no point. So to me, that sounds like food that has never been heated. Yeah, we had some people who had like, the salmon jerky. I mean, maybe.
Well, is salmon jerky heated or is it dehydrated?
I was just about to say, I guess it could be dehydrated, but I believe jerky typically
you're just in a low oven.
On a very low oven or out in the sun, which is still heating in its own way.
Wow.
And then someone used sunflower seeds, which I'm like, I don't think those are raw sunflower seeds. I think you have to do something. There was like something else too. So yeah, I felt like Betty in that moment. I was like, I don't understand the challenge.
Yeah, I don't understand the challenge. And you're going to directly disobey the rules and hope they forgive you.
What do it mean?
So Artoun, we usually roll through all the dishes and kind of give a thumbs up, thumbs down on like if we dug this. And like your criteria for if you dug it can be whatever. A lot of times we try to go for like, is this a good Top Chef dish? Because there's most shit I'd probably eat anything.
Pretty much anything.
I'd eat anything, yeah.
I'm also like vegetarian, so in reality I wouldn't eat any of this. But it's just like, does this seem like a chef made it and it fulfills a challenge? So starting off, Betty made fresh halibut ceviche with, I can't pronounce this grape name, Akyoho grape guacamole. I'm in the middle. I would try grape guacamole. I don't think it's right.
No.
I don't think it's good. I don't think this dish was good. I think I don't want a dish served on top of a piece of lettuce where the lettuce isn't part of the dish. I'm a pretty adventurous eater, but I don't think grapes and guacamole is doing it for me personally.
I just think with like a bite of guacamole, what you want is like you're looking for like a creamy texture with maybe some crunch, like a little bit of jalapeno or like onion or something like that. You don't want like to go back to a pimple popping grape inside your guacamole.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am so curious. It sounded fine to me. It just sounded kind of boring. And I'm like, I don't know what is up on this season with people. Maybe it's like they're using seasonal ingredients and grapes were like really in season, but people are fucking around so much with grapes in places they don't belong. Somebody made a goddamn smoothie.
That was unhinged.
I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah. It's gonna be sour. Like grapes are like, it's like putting a cucumber in something. It's like, this is mostly water, and then a flavor that shouldn't be in here.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think no.
So go ahead.
No, I just said I think no. I'm sorry, I was doubling down.
Mia made fresh corn salad with tomatoes, chili, avocado, and creamy lime dressing. I think it sounds good. I will say this is where I waver because I'm like, I don't think this is a Top Chef dish. Like Jordan and I are fucking corn hogs. We love, fucking love corn.
Oh yeah.
I could eat 70 cobs of corn. Oh my God, the way my uncle will grill on like Memorial Day with like chili and lime.
Ooh.
Little elopement action. Oh, we love it.
And then we do little paneer kebabs. Kill me. I fuck with corn so hard. But this, I was like, this is like when people are like vegetarians. I microwaved a piece of broccoli and then I put 2 sprinkles of salt on it. Does that taste good? And you're like, no.
I feel like you just could have done so much more.
Exactly. To me, she was doing that for the challenge of raw food, the way someone might do that for a vegetarian challenge. I'm like, a salad? Get the fuck out of here. That's like first thought.
Yeah. And once again, I'm like, stop using lettuce as a bowl. Just put the thing in a bowl if you want it in a bowl, but don't put it on a plate and then make a bowl out of lettuce that is not intended to be eaten.
Oh, yes.
And then it's just there. I think it looks tacky. I think it gets soggy. I don't understand it.
Yes. Agreed.
It's not for me.
Yes. Okay. And then Elon made summer squash with tomato sauce, walnut, and almond pesto.
Yeah.
I love raw squash, actually.
See, you know me and squash and zucchini. It's like among my least favorite vegetables, but that's not really saying anything because I'll eat whatever vegetable. I don't fucking care. The thing is that people don't realize when you become a vegetarian, it literally doesn't matter. I'm like, everything is fine. So I would totally eat this. I also thought it was so smart to make a pesto because you think raw challenge, oh, it's hard to make a sauce. And it's like, no, there's plenty of stuff you make in a food processor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it looked so good. And like the ribbons, it looked beautiful. I thought it looked delicious.
It looked great.
I think this episode too is kind of when Alon, not that Alon hasn't been doing good stuff previously, but I think this is one of the first episodes where Alon, I really was like, oh, he's a real front runner.
He's a top contender. Like you get it all along, but you're like, oh yeah, this guy knows how to cook. Because this is another season, weirdly, where a lot of people are like between the ages of like 23 and 26. They're very young chefs. Yeah. And even the older chefs are like, I'm 39. I've got 72 years of experience.
Yeah.
I'm the best. Until now, I was the best chef anyone had ever met. This perplexing monologue Frank makes later.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for Alon to like be one of those guys, but he seems to be super experienced. Okay, next was Cliff, a salad of radishes, French beans, and fennel with a tomato butter puree. That sounds great.
Sounded good. Yeah.
I think it verges on the same thing with like Mia. But if you're gonna make a salad, like go out and make a fucking like bomb ass salad.
Yeah, and it has to be really different. I don't think it can be a salad I've seen before. I don't think it can be a corn salad. I don't think it can be a caprese salad. I think it has to be something where I'm like, this is a salad? Yeah.
Elia made tuna with spinach, onion, sesame, lime, ginger, and garlic.
Okay. Okay. I have to say something.
Okay. This is another one where I struggle. I'm like, that sounds delicious because literally everything in the second half of that sentence is flavors I eat at every point at every meal. I don't know if it's like a fancy enough dish, but yeah, what were you going to say, Jordan?
Okay, so I thought this looked bad, which is crazy and the reasoning why I thought it looked bad is because it was soaking wet. And that's a very shocking statement coming from me because anyone who knows me, which Artoun and Reka both do, so they're laughing. And a lot of our viewers probably know I'm obsessed with sauce, and I soak all my food in sauce. It's disgusting. Everything I eat is always soaking wet. But for some reason, this dish, just like the thinly sliced tuna, and you know what I think really did it? It was thinly sliced tuna with like 4 spinach leaves on top of it, and then so much liquid dumped on it. And I'm like, oh, when spinach gets wet like that.
Oh, Jordan has a thing with wet greens. Jordan really hates wet greens.
That is true.
Wet greens are terrible.
Unless
it's like, if it's spritzed, nice. If it's
soggy.
Yeah, when you get like a spring mix bag, I can't even buy those bags.
Oh, I hate when there's like the one like little turdy looking. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. So I know this is a shocking statement coming from me, but I'm gonna say thumbs down because too wet.
Yeah, too wet. Okay, that tracks.
I'll probably still give it a thumbs up. I feel like I'm not going to give a thumbs down to anything.
It's usually stuff that Marcel makes. Frank made scallop carpaccio with a radish salad, smoked salmon, and a lemon honey vinaigrette.
This looks great. I mean,
beautiful.
Not a Frank fan in general, but it looked beautiful.
Agreed.
Yeah. Sam made a crudo of summer squash, zucchini, quick pickle of peaches, plums, and grapes. So I'm a thumbs up in a way that I'm like, this is how you could make me like squash. It seems like you're putting a lot of like pickling seasonings and stuff on it.
Wow. And we're coming from 2 opposite ends of the spectrum because I say, okay, maybe I eat a little fruit. Maybe I have a little fruit. Maybe we pickle some fruit. I like pickles. I'll have a little fruit.
Jordan hates fruit.
Don't love fruit. So wow, really this dish brings Reka and I together.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so thumbs up for me and Reka. Artoun?
That's a thumbs up for me. I love quick pickle. I love
it. I literally, I got my my box of vegetables today, immediately pickled the beets and the radishes. I'm so pumped to eat like anything with them or eat them out of the jar with my hand. Okay, Michael then made a watermelon Napoleon with cilantro and salmon jerky.
This sounds good to me.
It sounds like a nice, tasty, salty, sweet snack.
I really like the salty and sweet. I think maybe like, is a Napoleon the best way to go? It seems like.
No, I don't think a Napoleon is ever a good way to go.
It's weird. In this season, they're doing a lot of like.
Tons of Napoleon.
Yeah, they'll be like a zucchini cannoli or whatever.
Only Napoleons are okay if it's like I'm like, what is a Napoleon? Is a lasagna a Napoleon? If that's what
Jordan.
Okay, then yes.
And you know what? If you use 2 blankets in the winter, that's a Napoleon.
Okay, I like that too. I like that, and I like lasagna. Or I'm like tiramisu. I'm like, maybe that's a Napoleon. That makes sense to me. But every time
sandwich is a Napoleon.
Every time I've ever had a Napoleon, it's like this. It's stacked up, and you're eating it, and you have your fork and your knife, and you're trying to cut just like the chef did on this thing, and you're trying to cut, and it's all falling apart, and it's not structurally sound. It's not earthquake proof like we need here in California.
I'll just sidebar in case anyone's in New York. There's a bakery called Venero's on 11th and 1st or 12th and 1st. Really good Napoleons. You should get one.
What? What's in them?
It's like it might not be a Bavarian cream, but it is in that style. And then like the really flaky pastry. And then on the top is like vanilla frosting with like a chocolate swirl, like a marbling. And they also have a chocolate Napoleon. Just get that grimace off your fucking face.
That sounds good. Both of those sound good. What I'll say is I'll take a trifle.
I love a trifle.
But a trifle doesn't have that puff pastry. The crispy, buttery rough puff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Are we really getting into this? Okay. It's like not my dessert of choice necessarily, but it's like, I do like it. And I would go in college, I would get a couple cannolis and Napoleon, and my friends and I would go to the park and we eat all of it.
Where?
Really nice.
From where?
Venero's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jason is asking what is a Napoleon, and a Napoleon is anything that is layered. So if you're wearing a couple,
is that true?
No, I'm full of shit. So Napoleon is anything, like if you're wearing 2 fall jackets, you are Napoleon. Somebody who is complicated, Shrek is a Napoleon.
Shrek's a Napoleon, yeah.
Yeah, you know that speech Donkey gives? peeling back.
Wait,
an onion is a natural Napoleon. Found
it's God's Napoleon.
It's God's Napoleon.
That's so true. Wait, I do have to say something crazy about Shrek. If I can just say something about Shrek really quickly.
I guess. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan, I want to warn you. I heard he listens to this, but go ahead.
Okay. So my roommate shared this thing with me. My roommate Colin shared this thing with me the other day where it's like a clip. It was someone said this on like Reddit or Tumblr or whatever. So it's certainly not my idea. But like when Donkey is like, "What's your name?" And then Shrek goes, "Shrek." And there's this fan theory that Shrek had never spent time with a person, so he didn't have a name. And the first time he had ever needed a name is when he met Donkey, and Donkey said, "What's your name?" So he made up the name Shrek on the spot.
That's really sweet.
Pretty awesome.
I can't stop thinking about it, and I'm glad that we brought up Shrek in this so I could talk about it.
I have a Shrek thing. I won't show it because it's too lewd, but there's a lot of like College Humor fans can know this little piece of information, which is that there's a Slack for all like disgusting like pictures we find on the internet. There's a Slack channel for it. And I love this Slack channel. I think it's really, really funny. And then one day somebody, it could have been me, I honestly don't remember, found a weird shot of Shrek from below with his dick out. And it's so mortifying. But it is very funny.
Rachel likes this picture so much that it's made it off the College Humor Slack and has been texted to me multiple times.
I think it's so funny. It makes me laugh so much. It's so grotesque. Anyway, I'm glad we both kind of had a sweet sort of Shrek story to share. Artoun, do you have a Shrek story?
The only Shrek story I have is that I know when Cameron Diaz first saw Shrek, she went, "Wow, it looks so realistic," which I think like back like, wow, when animation had reached a point where
what's funny to specifically use the word realistic is so not even like, wow, this looks like really advanced animation.
Really good, or
this looks like every person I've ever met.
Wow, yeah, this ogre looks just like Mike Myers. Wow, that's a good Shrek story, Artoun.
Thank you. That's a Christina Moore told me that one. So another Hail Mary.
Oh my God! Please drop your Shrek stories in the chat. We really need them now more than ever. Thank you.
Oh, certainly now more than ever. Okay, I got derailed. Let's get back to the quick fire. What's the next dish?
The next dish is Marcel, who made a trio of watermelon and tomato. So this is like a watermelon steak, tomato carpaccio, nasturtiums, and opal basil. Sorry.
I've had similar dishes to this before. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, that watermelon steak was shaped in a way that only a murderer would shape it. I'm like, why is it done like this? Why is it not?
It was really thick, right? It
was really tall and cylindrical. And I'm like, why not make it, if it's like you want it to be like a Chateaubriand, like make it smaller, or like if you want it to be a steak, make it like bigger and flatter.
Make it flat, yeah.
It also didn't look seasoned at all to me. And obviously I'm just a viewer from home, but to me, I'm like, if you're doing like a tomato watermelon, I'm like, I need some balsamic, I need a pesto, I need a feta, I need a thinly sliced red onion, something else. And it just seemed like tomato and watermelon to me.
Yes. Okay, Artoun, go.
If you ever have watched my Instagrams, I attempted to make a watermelon ham.
I remember that.
And so I actually have just like personal trauma with watermelon steak, watermelon ham, any kind of watermelon with some kind of food following it afterwards. I like remember what horrible creation I made. I tried like smoking it over like 8 hours outside. It was like raining. It was horrible. It was terrible. I like think I definitely over seasoned it, even if like, forget the fact that the seasoning was the least of the worries of how terrible it was. It was so slimy. It was terrible. Conceptually, I would just not want to eat it. I'd say I want watermelon as a dessert, a nice little piece of it, or in a salad with feta. Yes. No steaks, no hams, no watermelon hot dogs, no nothing.
No hot dogs. I have a watermelon story, which is that for something that did not air for College Humor, a pilot, Mike Trapp and I were going to do like fun cooking challenges. And the first challenge and the only challenge, because we only filmed one episode, was given to us by none other than Top Chef's Richard Blaze, who watched us cook this, which was a watermelon pie. And he coached us through what to do, but then Trapp and I just did all of it. And it involved vacuum sealing a watermelon to like hyper concentrate the flavors and almost treating it like cut up apples or something in a pie. And I will say that pie gets wet. But we did eat it, and the syrup is good, but all the flavor drains out of the watermelon. So the watermelon becomes just like chewy cellulose, like cubes.
This is my nightmare. I'm like already not into fruit, and listening to watermelon, something I don't really like, be described like this, is deeply upsetting.
Perfect. Well, at the bottom of this challenge was Betty, Mia, and Michael. At the top was Elia, Frank, and I'm sorry guys, Marcel. And the winner was Marcel. Wow. Yeah, it was a twist.
To lose some.
Yes, it was a twist for the ages. So then we move on to our elimination challenge, which was breakfast for some California athletes. And they don't, yeah, go ahead, Artoun.
I couldn't believe it wasn't basketball players. By the way.
Really? Tell me why.
I thought I was so excited. I was going to see like a bunch of Lakers. Like 2008, I was like, Kobe. I was like, we're
that would have been very cool. I don't think Top Chef was cool enough at that time.
I think now we could get the Lakers. I don't think I think Top Chef is so cool, but I think me and Rika could get the Lakers on the show. Yes. I don't think in 2008.
That would have been cool. Because as it was, it did sort of just seem like 40 random people at the 40 random
surfers. Yeah, I'm like, are these professional surfers?
I had no idea.
Yes.
I thought it was funny, like they weren't really, it didn't seem like a lot of them were wearing wetsuits.
No, they were just in their bathing suits.
So I'm like, these might just be extras.
That honestly could be true. Like in The Bachelor, whenever somebody's like, I'm a wildlife expert to take you on you're going to look at this elephant. They're like a fucking Craigslist extra. That's just like, you're going to play a wildlife expert. And they're like, okay. Okay. So on, we end up finding out that the athletes that they're serving are surfers. Before we dive into the dishes, there are a couple of moments I wanted to call out from the shopping and the cooking. One of them being switching out eggs. Is this common?
What is this? What are you referring to?
When they're shopping, and a lot of them are in the egg section, and they're just looking at eggs, and then they're just switching eggs from carton to carton.
Oh, I guess if eggs are cracked.
If eggs are cracked,
but it didn't look. Yes,
it didn't look cracked.
Look like it. My grandma does this, and I don't know what she's looking for, but I know that she will go just by feeling it. I feel like she knows
no, this has a chicken in it.
This one's, and she'll switch a couple. It's not like an often. It's not like she's like. It looked like they switched potentially half of the eggs in each one.
Yes, they were. It was like a matching game. It was. I'm like, what are you looking for? What's going on here?
Yeah. But it's more like she's like, this one's faulty. Like she's like, this one feels like weak. Like you'll crack it, and it's like kind of like a weird frozen type of egg.
That's so funny.
Grace is throwing in the chat that maybe you want all your eggs to be the exact same size.
Oh. Wow.
Interesting.
I mean, I know, but yeah. Wow. Okay, so also on this shopping trip, Michael is like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll just make yogurt and granola. I was like, Michael, this is stupid even for you. If you make yogurt and granola, I'll die. And then he ends up buying a pre-roasted fucking chicken. I could not believe that didn't get any more conversation. I'm oh, if I can just go, we don't know what the cooking situation is like. Yeah, I'll just head over to Prepared Foods and buy it all
Get a mac and cheese.
Yeah, I'll just get yeah. Can I get all the Indian food at the Whole Foods salad bar? Don't. It's bad.
I get 4 California Pizza Kitchen or California. I almost said California Pizza Kitchen rolls. California rolls.
Yeah, exactly. I made sushi. That was crazy.
Yeah, I found that for people who were told you have no idea what you're going to be cooking in, for me, my assumption would be like some kind of heat underneath is the best we can ask for. Yeah. But people being like, I thought there'd be an oven, and I thought I'm like, why do you think there'd be an oven when they explicitly told you there probably wouldn't?
It is unhinged for Frank to think I'm gonna bake a quiche. A quiche. I thought that was the most insane thing. I thought just for the thought alone, I'm fine with the elimination because how could you think that?
And I'm sorry, did he buy a prepared pie crust?
Yes. He's not even making the pie crust.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Yeah, there's a million things wrong because they seem to oscillate between like, we don't know what could be there. It could be a troll under a bridge. We have to pass a riddle in order to get to the kitchen. We don't know. And we don't know if we'll find the riddle out. And then they jump to, I thought there'd at least be a fucking sous vide or whatever. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's very weird. And I feel like there is, in later seasons, there are challenges where they really do spring it on people, where they're like, oh, all of a sudden we don't have any of this thing. But this challenge, I felt like they were pretty clear about the fact that you wouldn't. I mean, even Sam was like, I couldn't believe we were cooking outside on a thing. If I had known that, my thing would have been different. And I'm like, okay, like what would have been different? And it also shocked me, I don't know, maybe I'm nutso and picky about eggs, but it shocked me how many people made eggs.
I was just about to say that if you don't know what your heat situation is, eggs are one of the things that they make you do to be like, are you any at all competent chef? Like,
you also don't know, like, what are you going to make a bunch of eggs and then put them in a chafing dish? Or like Sam made his scrambled eggs and then put them in a bowl and put that bowl over the fire after they were already cooked to keep them warm. I was just like, that seems like such a bad idea to me.
Oh my God.
It's just
it was wild. So let's actually hop through these dishes. We already talked about Padma's outfit, which was
legendary.
Sort of like it was like a football uniform shape, like, but all fur, a bikini top, a mini skirt, and gold boots.
Yeah.
Hopping into the dishes, Mia makes crab cakes Benedict with mango cream sauce. I thought this sounded
so good.
Yeah,
I love
big thumbs up. Oh my God, I love crab cakes.
Yes. I've only had crab cakes made of hearts of palm, and they're fucking incredible. Elia made. Did I mishear a couple of things? Because she's at first when she's describing it, it was different than what the lower third was. She's like, because at first she's like, yeah, whenever I have waffles, I always put peanut butter and maple syrup. And then when they hop into the dish, it's waffles with fried beans, cheese, ham, fried eggs, and maple syrup. Is there peanut butter on this too?
I doubt it. It would not have been as successful if there was peanut butter.
I was confused. I thought that sounded great. You put honestly anything on a waffle. I will say she store-bought her waffles, which is like a theme in the entirety of Top Chef of like a thing you're not supposed to do.
You would never do now, yeah.
Elon made a Spanish tortilla and with chipotle aioli.
Yeah.
I thought that sounded great and was like a really surprisingly successful, it seemed, use of eggs.
Yeah, it looked beautiful too.
Yes.
They only really had like one kind of distance shot of it, but when I saw it, I was like, that looks good.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have to like in middle school, if you were taking a language class, like, oh, everyone bring in food from this country or whatever to eat. Like if you're taking a French class, bring in French food or something. For whatever reason, we had to do that in Spanish class like a couple years in a row. And that's how I knew what a tortilla was in like middle school. And I remember that's the only time I'd had flan. And I was like, this is disgusting. I'm like, of course it is, like a fucking 13-year-old made it. But I would always ask my dad to do the tortilla because I was like, these kids, they make eggs that taste like nothing. Please.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. I always wanted to have a project like that. I had a project sophomore year of high school, where we did a project on the 50s, and everyone did like a different kind of like topic. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna do food. And I did it with this girl in my class who like always got A's, and she like did not trust me at all. And I was like, no, trust me, like it'll be really good, it'll be really cool. So I made every single person in the class a recipe book with popular recipes from the 1950s and gave them each a box of Yoo-hoo.
Wow.
And I was one of the only people in the class to get lower than an A. And I still think about it all the time, because like there was one girl in my class that like was like poodle skirts were popular, and then did a photo shoot in a poodle skirt, and she got an A. And I was like, I made a handwritten cookbook for every person in this class. I think about it all the time still. And I'm like, what is wrong with this teacher?
Maybe she hates food.
Maybe she hates you.
Interesting, Artoun. Yes.
I did lie a lot about doing my homework, so I get it. But I did do a good job on that. You gotta give credit where credit's due. Come on.
Yes. So Betty made rustic toast with a Black Forest ham and egg bundle and a corn and leek ragu. I'm like on the fence with this. I bet it tastes good. I'm kind of like, you took a piece of ham and
like a deli ham.
Yeah.
I don't eat ham. I honestly don't know if I've ever even had ham, but I love deli meats, like deli turkey or deli chicken.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it seemed dry to me. Any of the people who prepared their bread burnt the fucking shit out of it.
Yeah.
Like Sam, we'll get to Sam's, but I was like,
are you okay? Sir, are you okay?
Okay, great. Frank made zucchini and salmon scramble, and then a side of cannoli cream with strawberries and a Holland waffle, which is a stroop waffle.
Okay. Thumbs down to the quiche that turned into scrambled eggs, but thumbs up to the cream. And they were rude to him about that cannoli cream, but that sounds good to me.
That sounds incredible to me. Here's my questions. One, when he was gonna make a quiche and he was expecting a fully outfitted broken Kenmore suite of appliances on a beach, what was he gonna do with that? Because he was gonna make a fucking quiche. Why did he buy strawberries and stuff to make cannoli cream?
Oh, I think that was always part of it.
He was gonna do
a double feature.
Yeah.
So that's not improvised?
I don't think so.
Because he had to buy those stroop waffles. That's not like something
That's why I was like, what the fuck was he gonna make? You were gonna do a quiche with a shot of cannoli cream? I think that sounds great, but I do agree with the judges. Like, anytime someone does two things, I'm like, why are these two things together? Again, in my real life, don't care. I will eat a side of cannoli cream. I don't
any day of the week.
But yeah, on Top Chef, I am like, it matters what you pair together. So yeah. Also, it didn't look like any cooking was involved with the cannoli cream strawberry.
It looked like he.
Yeah, like how, somebody's mom passes out Jell-O pudding at a party or something. Fucking like what's that called? Mud. Yeah, cup of dirt. Yeah, it was like a fucking cup of dirt because it was a stroop waffle instead of a worm.
That sounds delicious to me. Sorry.
It sounds delicious. It sounded delicious.
Incredible. Listen, I'm gonna eat that now. Yeah.
I think haters. I think it looked good. I think it sounded good to me. Cannoli cream sounds kind of creative to me for season 2. I'll say it. I'll stand by Frank's side for that.
See, that was my entire existence freshman year. I was just horking cannolis from Veneera's. So for me, that's rookie. That's like, no.
Okay.
I'm sucking cannoli cream out of a shell on the daily at age 17. Okay, so then Cliff made chicken apple sausage with sweet potato hash and chive scrambled eggs.
I'm going to give this a thumbs down because I do not think this is creative enough. I think it sounds like it would taste good. Yes. I do not think this is a Top Chef dish.
I agree. On that criteria, I think it's not creative. That is literally probably the style of thing I make the most, which is a bowl of something.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Artoun?
I guess similarly, where I'm like, I would love to eat that. That sounds like the breakfast of choice. It sounds delicious. But I guess it is not like super creative. I think I feel like anytime you do some sort of just scramble, like a mishmash of things, it never goes that well unless it's like really good, or you have like some special ingredient or something.
Yeah, I agree. And that's like, I wouldn't even serve that to guests if I wanted to impress them, much less the judges on Top Chef.
It's definitely not like an impressive, like, wow.
Yes.
Okay, and where are we?
Top Chef.
Top Chef.
A professional cooking show.
We are. I will point out that Marcel's lower third during this said master cook. Normally it just says where you work. Okay. Sam made scrambled eggs with basil almond pesto served toad in a hole style. I feel bad for him because he's really good on this season, and it was clear today tripped him up. He was trying to make green eggs and ham, Sam I am, blah, blah, blah. And when he poured the pesto or basil or whatever into his egg mixture, it turned brown.
Yes.
Tough.
Acid brightens, blah, 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 whatever, dulls, fat dulls. To me, I say if it still tastes the same, still try to do your idea. I just you don't have to lead with it being called green eggs and ham, but it just felt like he kind of fucking gave up after that. And then he burnt the shit out of this Thomas's bagel. It was crazy hard looking. And then he called it toad in a hole. Bagels already have a fucking hole in it. Toad in a hole is when like the yolk is like all drippy. And he's like, I made the hole bigger.
And then they're like, it's falling apart. And I'm like, of course it's falling apart. There's already a hole, and you like, what's holding it up?
I know.
What's holding anything up from the bottom?
There was one single strawberry on top of it, which was
that was so crazy. I was like,
one single strawberry on top of it. I was like,
and I am someone who will eat fruit in unusual contexts, but I was like, a strawberry on top of scrambled eggs is like.
It's also on top of it. You start with it. It's saying have a bite of strawberry first, and then eat your eggs.
Yeah. You know what mother always says.
Wait, I just had a realization that maybe I'm wrong. And that's never happened before.
What?
Artoun, I don't think that person that said that thing at the same time as you is your girlfriend. I think it's a stranger named Christine.
So you're shipping me with some YouTuber named Christine?
We are very. Okay, I do blame Jordan for that.
Watching this right now?
I don't know.
I do. Is his girlfriend even named Christine, Jordan? I don't even know what the fuck to believe now.
Her name is Christina with an A.
I know that, but I'm like, maybe Christine.
Oh my God. Christine just said this is true. Christine, we are so sorry. We literally thought you were Artoun's girlfriend. This is entirely Jordan's fault. This is something.
I'm getting
Christine
red.
says, I am a stranger, but I didn't know what to say. We're so sorry.
First things first, we have to commend Christine for handling this with such grace and beauty.
With such aplomb.
Second of all, I assumed, because Artoun's girlfriend's name is Christina, and I know that, but I'm like, Rega's dying. I'm like, okay, but maybe Christina is doing like a Christine is their like nickname or something, and they use it on this chat. Also, Christine, I haven't seen you in the chat before. This is Artoun's first time being on the show. I saw it quickly. I thought it was Artoun's girlfriend, who I'm like, oh, that would make sense because Artoun's on the show.
Oh my God, wait, I think Jason Momoa just hopped in the chat.
You know what? I sat here. I didn't even hear what the two of you said for the last 30 seconds because I was like, do I say something? Do I not say something?
Wait, can I ask what made you real? Did you like text his girlfriend or something?
No. So Christine just said, I noticed the Master Cook thing a few episodes ago. I asked my wife who gave him that title. And I said, okay. Okay. I said, okay. And then I read that. I read that 13 times back to myself. to see if there was any way that I was reading it incorrectly.
Or that Christina, my girlfriend, has a wife on the side that we don't know about.
That would be crazy to me. I would be very upset if I found out that your girlfriend was a lesbian. I'd make her break up with you and marry me. I love Christina. So, oh my God. Wow, this is all. Wow. Oh this my. Is, you know, between the zit and the mix up.
And last time too, when you were trying to figure out where your audio was best. So I was like, just say a word, and we'll see where it's best on air. And Jordan's like, pickle. Okay, pickle. Pickle Rick.
I'm not having a good time in my life. And I'll admit that, and that's okay. And what I'll say is I am thrilled that Christine is watching the show. I hope Christine hasn't left because of what I've done. Artoun, I'm so sorry to your girlfriend.
Yeah, that was just really funny.
That's great.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry everyone watching the show. Wow, Christine should host this show with you, Reka, because Christine handled that so well.
Yeah, Christine, that was extremely graceful of you, and we super fucking appreciate it. We are so glad. No, Jordan shouldn't feel bad. We're really glad that you were able to watch us live tonight.
But you know what I'll say?
No.
I'm trying to make myself right in this situation. I will say that I think it's very cool that Artoun and a stranger had the exact same thought at the exact same time.
That is very
I think
cool.
that's really beautiful.
Cool. And I think that's really nice.
I think that's really, and I think,
yeah,
go ahead, Artoun, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, and I have good thoughts sometimes. So that's.
And I think that was a good thought. And that was a thought Reka and I agreed with. And I don't ship you two because Christine seems happily married, jealous, I'll say. I'm jealous. And Artoun and Christina are a great couple. So I ship both of you with your partners that you're currently with.
And honestly, that goes for everyone.
That goes for everyone tonight. I thought every person in the chat tonight, including me and Reka, were dating Artoun. I thought that. Yeah. Because I got confused.
I will say someone on Twitter apparently ships Jordan and me, and that's very sweet.
Wow. That's
nice. Yeah, that's someone we know, Reka.
That's someone we know?
That's my roommate, Charles from New York. You know him. You've met him.
See, okay, so I thought that was Christina. Okay.
There we go.
Full circle.
And there we go.
Okay, perfect. Literally can't believe we still have a few more dishes to go through.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, no. I think this is what makes this show so great. So raw and organic.
Raw. Like that quick fire.
So raw, so
raw.
That's like that quick fire. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. So then Michael made chicken and egg tacos after he forgot to bring his eggs.
Thumbs down. He's like, I forgot my eggs. He sits on the cooler and he's like, yeah, my eggs aren't in my bag. I'm like, so all he brought to the beach is some tortillas and a rotisserie chicken.
2 things he did not make.
So, I'm unhinged, but not as much as him. I'll say that much.
No, I think this was another, he ends up, I think he gets really favorable edits because I don't hate him nearly as much as you do, Jordan. And I think it's because I'm falling victim to the edits where it in theory should be a big deal. It's like, wait a minute, the only thing you cooked was the eggs on your plate. That's maybe a later season of Top Chef thing to do. Mm-hmm. Seem to be okay with it this season, but he really did only cook 1/3 of his dish,
which he didn't bring,
which he forgot. He forgot to bring, and he's "Yeah, go ahead."
I was so touched when people started giving him some eggs. I was like, "Wow,
egg donors, yes,
egg donors, yes."
I will say, I am extremely confused mathematically about how much food they made because at first I was under the impression it was 10 people eating or 7 to 10 or whatever the judges were. Yeah. Then they also had a surprise that 40 to 50 surfers arrived. Then I went, did Michael ask for 6 eggs? Is that possibly enough for 40 people?
No, I think
agree with you.
I think maximum you could make with 1 egg is 2 tacos.
Yeah.
Max, which means that's pushing it.
Yes.
And I think so that's maximum at the most 12 tacos.
Can I tell an unhinged story, which is I went on an app, date with some dude who, it was the weirdest date I've ever been on. And firstly, when I showed up, he was like, I'm outside. It was in a coffee shop, and this was before COVID, so you could actually go inside places. He's like, oh, I'm waiting outside. I was, why? And so I went outside. He's wearing a straw hat, sweatpants, a Hawaiian shirt, and a leather jacket. Super crazy outfit. And then I will say that he asked me, oh, have you seen, because he found out my family is Tamilian, South Indian Tamilian. And he's like, oh, have you seen that Facebook video? And I was like,
sorry, really quickly, just to touch base, is he Tamilian?
No, Jordan.
Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure.
And then I was like, what Facebook video? And he was like, it's like a village in South India, and they're making omelets for a bunch of people. And I was like, oh, yeah, I haven't seen that. And he's like, and it's crazy because it's not just like 2 eggs or something they need. I'm like, I think this guy was fully high. He's like, it's not just 2 eggs. It was like 100 people. It's like, yeah. He's like, so they needed that's like 2 eggs maybe per person. It's like, hey, believe me when I say I understand that 2 eggs doesn't feed 100 people. Please believe me. Anyway.
Oh my God.
He looked like me.
It was Jordan. I'm sorry. Anyway, yes, very confused about the math of this situation. Marcel, yeah, go ahead, Jordan. Sorry.
No. I was just backing you up. I was saying absolutely.
Yes. Then Marcel made poached eggs, hash browns, gravlax, and cream cheese with bacon lardons.
That's good.
It sounds great. It sounds like a upscale lox situation. And this is where I will point out that his lower third said master cook.
Which Christine's wife noticed.
Okay, and this is why we need you in the chat every week, Christine. We love you. Okay, perfect. So at the judges table on top is Betty, Mia, and Elia. And I know they were all concerned about more women going home this season. So that's cool. They all stayed and were in the top. Elia wins, which is like, okay, sure. I was pulling for Mia on this one.
Yeah.
And then on the bottom was Sam, Cliff, and Frank. They did describe Cliff's dish as a bowl of mixed up stuff, which felt like an attack because that is entirely what I eat.
I also think the sand in his food did not. I think that's there's a world in which he makes it out of that bottom 3 if there's no sand.
Totally. And at the end of the day, Frank goes home for a cup of cannoli cream.
I was so nervous for Sam. I
yes.
had not seen this season before. In fact, I hadn't watched Top Chef ever other than 5 days ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Wow.
But I've binged now most of the first season and now the second season.
Love that. I think it truly is an amazing show. Even if we weren't doing a live stream about it, I think it's so good.
It's
can I tell you, Artoun, you are going to love the later season.
Yes, I will say after season 4, the show really hits its stride, and nice. I will say season 10 and beyond is
wow.
Yeah. And it's follow Reika, follow me, follow Reika's YouTube, whatever. But also go follow Artoun on Instagram.
Please.
Because Artoun does cooking projects. He made Gruyere popovers the other day.
Okay.
He made all kinds he made croissants from scratch at home. He bakes these products that are unbelievable. And Artoun, you're going to love Top Chef Colorado, Top Chef Kentucky.
Oh.
All Stars LA. You're going to love it.
And can I say too, Artoun, I saw once that you made donuts.
Oh, that were horrible.
They were bad?
Those donuts could not be eaten. They were so bad. They tasted like fried chicken, which I could not for the life of me figure out why. I spoke with my grandmother and she said it's because you used canola oil. Not sure if there's a relationship there with canola and fried chicken, but it was I was trying to do an old fashioned sour cream donut, and they looked, this is the kind of thing, it looked so good. On the plate on Top Chef, it would be like stunning. But they would have a bite and they'd go, "This isn't edible. This is fried chicken," which was tough.
That's so funny.
Wow.
But I come out and say it on my. I have so many projects I've done where I like spend 8 hours and people will follow along the whole.
Yes,
the whole
I followed your watermelon
invested.
ham.
And then
I followed your croissants.
And it will all lead to like a devastating, not good.
You know what? Just like a pimple, just like testing the mic, and just like us confusing two Christines, it's all part of the rawness, which is the theme of this episode, right?
I love it.
We love that. That makes you more relatable.
Now, we have to ask you. We always do this. You've probably seen it. We ask you what you would have made at this challenge, and then we put it up on our Instagram against the actual winner of this challenge. And then we let the fans vote on whose dish they'd rather have, yours or the Top Chef contestants. Wow. So what would you have made for this beach breakfast challenge? And if you can, try to forget that you know, and you're just at Whole Foods, you don't know you're going to be on the beach.
You think you're making food for the Lakers in an unknown environment.
That's true. I think, and something that I make fairly often, are breakfast burritos. I think no one went for like a burrito or sandwich, which pretend that I don't know that. But I think a breakfast burrito is so easy to make, and you can cover up your mistakes easier as opposed to like a scramble, like slightly overdone eggs in a breakfast burrito with a little bit of pico de gallo or like avocado, the creaminess, it all kind of works together and you're just taking a bite in there. On a plate, it would not look the same. It would not look as good. I don't think it's the most original thing, but also we're feeding athletes, and athletes love burritos.
Artoun, I got to know what's in this burrito.
I do too.
Pico, you said avocado. What else do we have in here?
I think what I would do is eggs, a quick, I could make a hash brown, which I just grate some russets right on the skillet, nice and crispy, flip, black pepper, a good amount of it, pico de gallo, avocado, some cheese, and then depending on if I was feeling it, maybe some bacon or like a sausage of some kind.
We love.
I like to eat that kind of stuff after I surf.
Yeah, absolutely. Rick and I are big surfers.
We're big surfers.
We both own Groundswell, the book about surfing by Katie Lee.
Joel.
Season 1.
Season 1, baby. Callbacks. Katie Lee Joel, if you guys don't know, hosted season 1 of Top Chef in lieu of Padma. Padma, Jesus. And she was Billy Joel's wife. They did meet when she was in college. And then she wrote a book called Groundswell about surfing, which as far as we can tell is a novel. Wow. So that's just an info dump we like to get to at some point in every episode.
Something to think about.
Artoun, your dish sounds delicious. And there's one more thing I want to say, which is you are Top Chef. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, chefs.
Ooh. I don't think they've ever been referred to as chefs before.
It literally sent a tingle down my spine.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm reading Marcus Samuelson's memoir, Yes Chef. And in it, he talks about how like Yes Chef becomes a really reflexive response in the kitchen, to the point where like the chef will say like, "Good night," and you're like, "Yes, chef." I'm like, hot.
Yeah, we love that. Well, thank you so much. And like we said, make sure, keep an eye out for Ghostbusters Afterlife, which Artoun will be in, which is so cool. Also, Artoun, is there anything else you're going to be in that's coming up soon that you want to talk about?
Anything else that's coming out soon? The CBS Showcase will be happening in January virtually. I don't know where that'll be, but when more details will be coming out eventually.
If you guys don't know what the CBS Showcase is, it's when like every year CBS picks like the top fucking performers and writers of the year to like put together a sketch and like performance showcase. And so Artoun, you're acting in it or writing? I'm
acting in it, and we're doing pre-recorded sketches.
That's awesome.
So we'll hear about that when we have the information of when that is. If y'all want to check that out with Artoun, because he's so funny.
So funny.
We'll absolutely share that. And Artoun, thanks for doing the show.
Thank you so much. And again, Jordan's Venmo will be open for 24 hours for the North American Traditional Indigenous Food Systems charity this week. So thank you guys so much, and see you next week for I'm going to say every episode is special, but it's going to be special. It's going to be special, okay? It's going to be special, okay? Artoun is back. Bye.